Well, obviously, I was disappointed. I mean, we don't lose often. We lose very seldom at home. I was disappointed, and understanding the game, you just cannot turn the ball over. We turned it over 3 times offensively. We had 5 as a team, and so we didn't do the things necessary to win a ball game like that. I was encouraged by some things. I thought DJ Monroe came in and did some nice things for us out of the backfield, and we'll continue to try to find different ways, whether it be receiver, running back, whatever ways that we can, get him the ball. We were unable to kind of stay with that in the second half because of the way the game unfolded with their style of offense. We needed to throw the ball so that we could get the snaps necessary to try to get back in the ball game, and because of that, we had to get away from that package of things to do, and so but disappointed, frustrated, and we have to get better. I know, and I think it's a fair question, so I'll go on and answer it before any of you have to step out on the ledge. We threw under the chains twice. And the first one was a situation where Garrett had to bring the ball down to the third choice. Both the first and second choices were past the chains. And unfortunately, we did not execute that area. The second one was a 4th and 4 situation. Both routes that we were trying to get the ball to were designed at 5. They squeezed John. He stepped inside, and so we completed the ball, and we had to leave the field. But that is, that's my responsibility to make sure either the routes are deeper or that the ball gets past the chains. So obviously that was frustrating part. I thought that there were some things that Garrett did that was exceptional. Obviously, the turnovers we've got to get that ironed out, and the execution has to be better. But he completed 30 out of 45. He had 3 balls dropped. He saw the blitz well again for the 4th week in a row. So I think he continues to grow and get better. But that's kind of a recap of my thoughts when leaving the field and then evaluating it several times over the course of Saturday and Sunday. Well, I think Garrett is, when you play his position or you coach mine, he understands that we get way too much credit when things go good and way too much blame when things go bad, and but that's part of it. It's been that way since I played. It'll be that way when I go to the big press box in the sky. I mean, that's just part of it, and you learn it, and you live with it. So, but yeah, I was very upbeat with him yesterday and told him the things because I thought for the most part he played really well. Well, there was the interception came on an 8-man drop, and so anytime a quarterback has an interception, when he gets on the phone, I always ask him, what did you see, as opposed to explaining to him what I saw, because the answer that you get if you ask what did you see is telling. He said, Coach, I saw 3 down. I knew Ayers was a rat, saw him all the way, had Mike behind him coming into an open area, just didn't put enough loft on the ball. So you never like those plays. You like them less if the answer you receive is not what happened. And that's exactly what I had saw from the press box, and that is exactly what happened when I looked at it again on tape. So, the good thing is he saw exactly what they were doing. The bad thing is we didn't execute and either wait for the window to open right behind him or put a little more loft, because I do think Mike was coming open into that void area.
Do you expect
Great, great. I mean, I think he will respond well. He's a tough guy mentally, and he's a tough guy physically. So I expect him to have a great practice tomorrow and get on towards OU.
Do you think he'll encourage the rest of the team or take that leadership role?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's something that you grow into. I think that being the quarterback, obviously part of that is leadership, and I think the longer you play, the more notches you have on your belt, the easier it is to become a more vocal, outspoken leader.
How are the guys not pressed this week and think that they have to do more than just...
Well, one of the things that we told them after the ball game on Sunday is that, if you look at the goal boards that we set, and they've been set this way for a number of years, is win the opener, win the state championship, win the Big 12 South, win the championship, win the bowl game. All those are still available. So those things are still available, and so that's what we have to focus on to try to get better.
Coach, obviously, once the game got to 20-3, it changes a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
before that point, can you talk about the running game and the offensive line, kind of what you saw from that, and what you didn't like from that?
Well, I like the obviously, as I mentioned, I like the plays that DJ gave us. He had 2 explosive runs in the first half, and it was a game that I think we called 23 runs total in the ball game, and but I saw some things that were encouraging, and but we're still not where we need to be. I see a lot of the same things I've seen for a number of years. It starts off with good athletes that play with good pad level. Obviously, Bill is a guy that is a factor coming around the edge, regressing just a little bit. I thought our backs and tackles did a nice job on airs the other night, chipping their way out on several things to be able to help on him. But Bill's a guy that is similar, that he can create problems. Lewis and Wirt inside, the backers are good players. Impressed with the way they flatted the ball. Schematically, they're doing very similar to what they've done. There's been some changes. They don't play, or they play more head-up positions on the guard. They used to always play outside shade on one and the inside shade on the other. They still do that. They still have a very good dime package when they go to their 3-down with variations of movement and getting identified who's coming and who's not. Is a problem. But it's a fun game. It's a fun week to get ready for.
Last year they played a ton.
Yes, they did.
Was that something that, I guess, I don't know if it sticks with you really, but something of note when you're thinking about?
Well, it's certainly something that you have to be aware of. And last year they went back and pulled out some blitzes that they had not used in a couple of years. We had touched on those blitzes as part of our preparation, but obviously we didn't spend as much time on them as the ones that they had used. And that's one thing that is tough in preparation when you've played a team for a number of years. Is which of those do you choose to work on the most? The ones that they're doing now, and the ones that you see in 2010, or you go back to 09, and obviously you got to be aware of those because some of those were very effective. And but balancing your preparation during the week and what you give the players to work on is a tough call.
Greg, some of the penalties, is that stuff that you guys have, has that transformed itself in practice to the games, or is this kind of catching you off guard with the pre-snap penalties and the things that have kind of gotten you in trouble and down the distance?
Yeah, most of that is not being reflected in practice. Now, obviously, in practice, you don't have the same noise.